Here's the hard truth nobody wants to hear. If the systems you depend on stopped working tomorrow, most people wouldn't survive. Not because they were unprepared. They'd fail because they were looking in the wrong places. When people imagine collapse, they picture empty grocery shelves, crowded gas stations, and desperate crowds fighting over the last can of food. Their eyes go straight to supermarkets, warehouses, and big box stores. But there's one building almost everyone walks past without a second thought: the local school. Most people think a school becomes useless the moment the bell stops ringing. Empty classrooms, lockers, old textbooks, a place that mattered before things fell apart. But the truth is far more unsettling. Schools weren't built just to teach math and history. They were designed to support hundreds, sometimes thousands of people every single day. Water, food, medical supplies, sanitation, tools, shelter, systems hidden in plain sight. And that's the difference most people miss. In a crisis, survival doesn't belong to the strongest person or the one with the biggest stockpile. It belongs to the people who recognize value before everyone else does. What looks ordinary today can become priceless tomorrow. It looks safe to follow the crowd. It feels smart to chase the obvious resources first, until those resources disappear. Because the things that save lives during collapse are often the things nobody noticed when life was normal. And once people finally realize what they've ignored, it's usually too late.
By the time people realize what matters, they've already wasted precious time. That's how groups fail. Most people blame hunger, others blame violence. Some blame bad luck or not having enough gear. Those threats are real, but they usually aren't the first thing that breaks a group. Tunnel vision is. The moment fear takes over, people stop seeing systems and start seeing objects. They grab canned food and ignore the kitchen. They take bandages and overlook the nurse. They strip shelves bare and forget the water source behind the wall. Most people think survival is about finding stuff. The truth is, survival is about finding systems. A box of supplies runs out. A working system keeps producing value long after the first wave of panic passes. This is where comfort becomes dangerous. Movies teach you to look for heroes with weapons and backpacks. Reality rewards the person who notices maintenance rooms, sanitation plans, and ways to keep people functioning together. The strongest-looking groups often fail first because confidence turns into blindness. They chase what shines. They defend what everyone can see. Meanwhile, the quiet survivors ask different questions. What keeps this place running? What happens when this is gone? What problem kills us next? Because collapse punishes people who think one move ahead, it destroys people who stop thinking altogether. And the next mistake most people make is even harder to spot. It sounds simple, which is exactly why almost everyone misses it when pressure starts climbing and options shrink. Pressure has a way of exposing bad thinking. Under stress, people chase speed over strategy. They react instead of assess. That's why you need a filter before you ever touch a single resource. 4 rules, simple enough to remember, strong enough to change your odds. Rule 1. Preserve life first. This sounds obvious, but panic makes people forget it. Food means nothing if someone bleeds out. Shelter means nothing if a medical emergency goes untreated. Always ask one question first. What keeps people alive right now? Rule 2. Protect systems before supplies. Most people see a box of useful items. Survivors see the machine behind the box. A generator matters more than a flashlight. A kitchen matters more than one meal. Supplies disappear. Systems keep working. Rule 3. Think beyond day 1. The first 24 hours get all the attention. The first month destroys people. Short-term wins become long-term disasters when nobody asks what happens next. Every choice should answer 2 questions. Does this help today? And does it still help tomorrow? Rule 4. The hidden resource beats the obvious one.
This is where most people fail. It looks smart to grab what everyone sees. It is smarter to secure what everyone ignores. The obvious resources attract crowds, conflict, and competition. Hidden value buys time, stability, and options. These 4 rules become your filter. Preserve life, protect systems, think beyond day 1. Find the hidden advantage. Every room, hallway, and locked door should be judged through that lens. Because once you start seeing resources this way, schools stop looking like empty buildings. They start revealing assets that most people would walk right past, without understanding what they just lost.
The first 2 resources aren't exciting. They don't look impressive. Nobody brags about them. And that's exactly why people overlook them. Water comes first. Most people picture a school and think about drinking fountains. That's the surface level view. The real value is deeper. Schools often have extensive plumbing systems, storage tanks, maintenance access points, sinks spread across the building, and infrastructure designed to support hundreds of people every day. That's why these systems matter. They weren't built for convenience. They were built for volume. But this is where confidence becomes dangerous. The cleanest looking water can be the most dangerous. Clear water isn't always safe water. Damaged pipes, stagnant lines, contamination from failed systems, or poor handling can turn a life-saving resource into a silent threat. One mistake spreads sickness through an entire group. People assume the crisis is outside the building. Sometimes, it's flowing through the faucet. Then there are medical supplies. Most schools have nurse offices, first aid stations, emergency kits, gloves, disinfectants, basic medications, and supplies meant to stabilize problems until professional help arrives. In normal times, these seem minor. In a crisis, they become critical. Because the smallest injury can become the biggest threat. A cut becomes an infection. A twisted ankle becomes immobility. A fever becomes panic. The injury itself isn't always what destroys a group. It's the chain reaction that follows when nobody can respond quickly and calmly. And panic changes everything. People rush in, take more than they need, leave supplies exposed, ignore basic hygiene, and create shortages where none existed before. That's the hidden danger. These resources work because they're organized, accessible, and designed to support many people. They fail when fear replaces discipline. And once you've secured water and basic medical capability, another reality becomes impossible to ignore. Keeping people alive for a few days is one thing. Keeping them fed is something else entirely. Once water and medical needs are under control, most people make the same mistake. They start counting cans. Food matters. But the hard truth is this: food without a system is just a countdown clock. People look at a school cafeteria and see plastic trays, empty tables, and memories from another life. They assume the value disappeared when the students left. They're looking at the wrong room. The real asset is the kitchen behind it. Industrial ovens, large sinks, refrigeration units, dry storage areas, preparation spaces, cleaning stations, equipment built to feed hundreds of people on a schedule. That's why these systems work. They're designed for efficiency. They turn raw ingredients into meals. They organize distribution. They reduce waste. They create order at the exact moment chaos is trying to take over. But systems fail when people treat them like endless resources. Power goes out. Fuel runs low. Refrigeration becomes unreliable. Food spoils faster than expected. Portions grow larger as fear grows stronger. That's the hidden danger. People don't starve only because food runs out. They starve because food gets mismanaged. Strong on day one,
dead by month 3, if there is no way to prepare and manage food. The group that eats everything immediately feels secure for a week. The group that measures, plans, rotates supplies, and adapts cooking methods survives longer. And panic doesn't just empty shelves, it destroys fairness. Without clear distribution, resentment spreads. Some people hoard, others go without. Trust breaks down faster than supplies disappear. The kitchen isn't valuable because it contains food. It's valuable because it creates a process. It transforms scattered resources into a functioning system people can rely on. Because feeding people isn't just about calories, it's about maintaining stability. And the moment you gather people under one roof to keep them alive, another threat begins growing quietly in the background, waiting for one careless mistake to spread through everyone.
People talk about finding shelter as if the job ends the moment there's a roof overhead. It doesn't. A building can protect you from the weather and still destroy your chances of survival. Schools offer more than walls. Classrooms provide enclosed spaces that can be organized and monitored. Gyms offer room for larger groups. Maintenance areas contain supplies and controlled access points. These environments were designed to handle people in large numbers while keeping daily functions moving. That's their advantage. They create structure. People can rest, recover, store equipment, and establish routines. In uncertain times, routine isn't comfort, it's stability. But shelter without sanitation becomes a trap. Bathrooms, hand washing stations, cleaning products, trash disposal systems, basic hygiene supplies. These don't sound dramatic, which is why they're ignored until the consequences arrive. Disease doesn't care how much food you have stored. It doesn't care how strong your group appears. The place that feels safest can become the fastest way disease spreads. Crowded sleeping areas, poor ventilation, unwashed hands, overflowing waste. One person getting sick can quickly become 10. 10 becomes 50. And unlike hunger, illness can move silently before anyone realizes what's happening. That's the hidden danger. People fear the threat outside the doors while creating a bigger threat inside them. Failure usually begins with shortcuts. Cleaning gets delayed. Rules become optional. People stop separating the sick from the healthy because it's inconvenient. Then the entire system starts breaking down. The groups that last aren't obsessed with looking tough. They're disciplined enough to handle boring tasks consistently. They clean, they organize, they protect shared spaces. Because survival isn't just enduring one bad night, it's preventing small problems from becoming disasters. And once shelter and sanitation are secured, another truth becomes impossible to ignore. Keeping people healthy means very little if you lose the tools that keep everything functioning tomorrow. By this stage, most people start thinking about defense, weapons, locks, barriers, things that look like control. But control in a collapse isn't about force. It's about function. Schools quietly contain systems that extend survival far beyond simple supplies. Maintenance rooms hold hand tools, repair equipment, spare parts, and materials designed to fix problems before they grow. Workshops contain items that can restore broken systems instead of replacing them. Storage closets often hide batteries, cables, and basic technical equipment that most people ignore because it doesn't look important. Then there is power. Backup generators, battery systems, extension setups, and electrical infrastructure designed to keep essential operations running during disruptions. These aren't luxury systems, they are continuity systems. And communication matters just as much. Radios in administrative areas,
intercom systems, phones tied to internal networks, even simple notice systems designed to coordinate hundreds of people during a normal school day. This is why these resources matter. They multiply capability. A tool doesn't just solve one problem, it allows 10 more problems to be solved after it. But they only work if people understand how to use them under pressure. That's where failure begins. Tools without knowledge become decoration. Power systems fail when no one manages load or fuel. Communication breaks when coordination turns into confusion, and multiple people try to control the same message. And the hidden danger is overconfidence. Most people chase weapons because they feel like immediate control. But weapons don't repair broken systems. They don't restore power. They don't organize people. Most people think survival is about force. The truth is, survival is about function. The group that can repair, adapt, and communicate will outlast the group that only knows how to defend. Because collapse doesn't just attack safety, it attacks continuity. And once continuity breaks, even strong groups begin to fall apart from within. Not from outside pressure, but from something far more dangerous that most people never expect until it is already happening.
At this point, most people expect the final resource to be another object, something you can store, carry, or defend. But the most important survival resource in a school doesn't sit on a shelf. It walks, thinks, and adapts. People, not as a crowd, but as skills. Cooks who understand food flow. Nurses who can stabilize injuries. Custodians who know how the building actually functions. Technicians who understand systems most people ignore. Teachers who can organize groups under pressure. Even administrative staff who understand structure, order, and coordination. This is what turns supplies into survival. Without people who know what to do, every resource becomes fragile. Water becomes unsafe. Food becomes wasted. Tools become unused. Systems fall apart, not because they stop working, but because no one knows how to maintain them. This is where most groups fail. They treat everyone the same. Or worse, they follow confidence instead of competence. Leadership goes to whoever speaks first, not whoever understands most. And resources get wasted because no one assigns roles correctly. The hidden danger is ego. People resist direction. They compete for control. They ignore quiet specialists because they don't look important in the moment. But survival rarely rewards the loudest voice. The loudest person is rarely the most useful. The quiet expert often saves everyone. Because skill doesn't announce itself. It reveals itself when systems start to fail and decisions start to matter. Groups that recognize this early stabilize faster. They distribute responsibility. They trust knowledge over emotion. Groups that ignore it fracture from within. Not because they lacked resources, but because they failed to use the most important one they already had. And once you understand that, the final question isn't what these resources are, it's what you actually do with them. Before pressure forces you to decide under conditions you never trained for. At this point, knowledge alone is not enough. If you walk away thinking this was just information, you lose the advantage. The real shift happens when you start acting differently in normal life. Today, change how you see everything around you. Stop looking at buildings as objects and start seeing them as systems. A school is not just rooms. It is water flow, food flow, energy flow, and coordination. Train your mind to ask one question everywhere you go. What keeps this running? And what breaks it?
Most people miss everything because they only see surfaces. Prepared people see structure. Over the next 7 days, map what is around you. Not in a dramatic way, but in a practical one. Identify where water is stored, where medical help exists, where large indoor spaces are, and what local facilities could support people if normal life stops working. At the same time, build basic skills. First aid awareness, basic sanitation habits, simple problem solving under pressure. Small skills stack faster than most people realize. Over the next 30 days, turn awareness into coordination. Talk with trusted people. Share responsibilities. Think through simple scenarios and how you would respond together. Practice staying organized when things are uncertain. The goal is not fear. The goal is readiness without panic. Preparedness is not buying more. It is understanding more. That is the contrast most people never grasp. They collect supplies and feel safe. But when systems fail, supplies alone collapse fast. Understanding lasts longer than storage. Control comes from clarity, not accumulation. And once you reach this point, the final truth becomes unavoidable. It is not about what exists in the building. It is about whether you would recognize it in time to matter, when everything else stops working and every second starts counting against you. At the start of this journey, you saw schools as ordinary buildings. Nothing special, just places tied to routine and memory. But once you strip away comfort, you start to see something different. They were never just learning spaces. They were systems, built to keep large groups alive and functioning under pressure. And that is the test most people fail. They see surfaces, not structures. They react to objects, not systems. When the shelves go empty, the winners won't be the people with the biggest carts. They'll be the people who noticed what everyone else walked past. Which of these 9 resources surprised you most? And if you think we're wrong, prove it in the comments. This is not about fear, it is about awareness. Once you see systems, you cannot unsee them. And that changes how you move through every space you enter. Most people will walk past the same buildings tomorrow without noticing anything. But a few will look again and see something entirely different. That difference decides everything when systems stop holding. And the only question left is whether you notice it before it becomes the only thing that matters. Think about that. Right now. Today. Seriously.